In the previous video, we just stored the list data in an array. However, the data isn't persistently stored and the list resets each time the app loads. There are several general approaches we can take with storing and retrieving data. We could load once at the start or every time that the list is accessed. We could load each item individually or as an entire list, or we could store each item individually or as an entire list. Ionic Storage only allows us to load and save as an entire list at once. This is different to SQL, where individual rows can be returned, edited, and deleted. We only need to load the data once at the start because, unlike a web server, the app isn't being used by multiple users simultaneously. However, we should always save immediately on any change in case the app crashes, it's forced to close, or the battery dies. When the app loads, it should check if the stored list has a value yet. If not, it should be given initial value, even if this initial value is just an empty list. This might be the constructor of an app component. When our page is ready, we can check with storage to see if a value for the contacts array exists. If it is not null, then we will set a storage value for contacts equal to an empty array. This will mean that any other components that need this storage data to generate a list will get a valid array, albeit an empty one, rather than null. Typically, you should be able to retrieve values from storage once in a component's constructor if we're using the JavaScript promise syntax. If you wanted to use the async await notation, then we might use the ngOnInit function, as we can set it to be an async function, whereas we can't set a constructor to be async. In either case, we query the storage element before the component displays. As the storage item contains the entire array of items from the list, when we add a new value to the array, we should overwrite the storage value of the array with a new copy of the full array. This will be the case for any change to data in the array, whether it be from an add, an edit, or a delete. It's possible that the list of contacts could be updated elsewhere in the app. Returning to the contact screen won't always reload from storage, as the component may already be loaded and its constructor or ngOnInit will not be rerun, e.g. if the screen was already open, like being in a tab. However, you can tap into another lifecycle hook, which is the IonViewDidEnter, to re-get the list from storage when the contact screen becomes available. The IonViewDidEnter function is called every time the page appears, even if the page has been already loaded. The IonViewDidEnter function will be called every time the view appears. The following example shows an alert every time the component appears on screen. However, the constructed message only appears the first time it is loaded. We can reload our contacts from storage in IonViewDidEnter to ensure the list is always up to date. Ionic provides a number of lifecycle hooks that are executed in the following order. So it will start from its constructor. There is a version which is now removed from Ionic 4, which is the IonViewDidLoad. I think that's now replaced to be used by the Angular ngOnInit. We have an IonViewWillEnter and an IonViewDidEnter, and we have similar things for things leaving, so an IonViewWillLeave, IonViewDidLeave, and IonViewWillUnload. So these events are tied in with the Ionic animation system. These events are in addition to the lifecycle hooks provided by Angular.